Have you ever been watching a film and just felt completely lost in it? Like the world on screen feels incredibly real or maybe, impossibly fantastical.
That's the magic, right? That total immersion.
Exactly. But when you peek behind the curtain, it's way more than just great actors and fancy cameras.
Hmm.
There's this whole hidden toolkit, often invisible stuff that shapes every single second.
Mm.
And today, that's what we're diving into. The essential craft, the nuts and bolts of filmmaking. We're looking at insights from film professor Angelo Ford, specifically his lessons 37 through 48.
Yeah, these lessons cover a lot, from how light shapes a scene to like the sounds you barely notice but totally feel and all the visual tricks.
Right.
And our goal here isn't just to list techniques, it's really about connecting the how the technical side to the why, the emotional punch it delivers to you, the viewer.
Understanding not just what they're doing, but how it makes you feel something.
Precisely. Why those choices matter to the story and your whole experience.
All right, let's start digging into this. And where else to start but with light? I mean, it's literally how we see the story.
It's fundamental.
Think about how just a shift in light can totally change the mood of a room or how you see a character. Filmmakers are masters at this.
Yeah.
And the bedrock is often three-point lighting.
Right.
It's not just about making things visible, is it? It's about creating depth, dimension, giving things weight. So what are the creative levers they pull here?
Well, it's fascinating because at its core, this setup, the key, the fill, and the backlight, it kind of mimics how we naturally see things in 3D space.
Okay.
But the real artistry is in the subtlety, changing the ratio between the key light, that main strongest one, and the fill light, which softens shadows. That instantly changes your read on a character. A really high ratio, lots of shadow, maybe that character's shady or in trouble.
Dramatic.
Totally, but soften it, make it more balanced, and suddenly there's like a feeling of warmth or gentleness. It speaks volumes before anyone even says a word. And the backlight, that little edge light, that's what makes the subject pop, separates them from the background, gives them definition. It's a system, but a really flexible one.
Okay, so that's the controlled environment. But what about when they're out in the real world, no fancy studio lights?
Yeah.
That brings us to available light, right?
Exactly. Sunlight, street lights, maybe just a lamp in the corner of the room. Any light that's already there.
Not brought in by the crew.
Right. And filmmakers embrace this, not just because it's cheaper, though it often is. It's about authenticity. You feel the realism because it's the light we live in. The trick is knowing how to work with it. Sunlight's a great example. Midday sun, harsh, contrasty, can be really dramatic.
Yeah, and intense.
But then you have that beautiful golden hour light near sunrise or sunset, warm, soft, directional, gorgeous stuff.
Everyone loves golden hour.
They do. But, a smart filmmaker might deliberately choose the blue hour just after sunset for something moody, mysterious. Or even use a flat, overcast sky as this giant, natural softbox if they want a gentler feel. It's about choosing the right kind of available light.
So they're not just stuck with what's there. They can shape it, too.
Oh, absolutely. That's where modifiers come in. Things like reflectors to bounce light back into shadows.
Okay.
Or big diffusers to soften harsh sunlight, like putting silk over a window.
Yeah.
And flags or cutters to block light you don't want.
So still controlling it, even if nature's the source.
It's about problem solving, finding that balance between realism and the look you need for the story. It's really sculpting with light, wherever it comes from.
Okay, so light sculpts the image.
Right.
But what about color? That's another
Color.
huge layer, right? The emotional vibe it gives off.
Huge. Color speaks directly to our emotions, often subconsciously. Filmmakers know this and use it very deliberately.
We don't need a full art class on the color wheel, but how do they go beyond just red is angry?
Well, it gets really sophisticated. They build entire color palettes for a film. Think about color harmonies. Using colors next to each other on the wheel, analogous colors can create a sense of peace or maybe melancholy.
Right, like blues and greens together.
Exactly. Or they might use complementary colors, opposites on the wheel, like blue and orange or red and green. That creates visual tension, makes things pop, great for conflict or drawing your eye.
Ooh, yeah, I can picture that, like highlighting opposing forces.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they'll stick to variations of just one color, a monochromatic scheme for unity, or maybe oppression, depending on the hue. But the really cool stuff happens when they break those rules intentionally.
Oh, so?
Like imagine a mostly muted gray world, and then one character always wears this single bright splash of red. Instantly tells you something about them, right? They stand out, maybe they're danger, maybe hope.
I'm thinking of specific movies now,
Mm.
like the super vibrant greens and reds in Amelie giving it that whimsical feel,
Perfect example.
versus the really desaturated, almost sickly green tint in The Matrix that screams something's wrong here.
Precisely. Color defines the world, defines characters, guides your eye, sets the mood. It's a silent language, but incredibly powerful in shaping how you feel about what you're seeing.
Okay, so we've got light and color painting, the visual world.
Yeah.
But what we hear, man, that's equally vital, isn't it? Film sound is this whole other universe.
Absolutely. Often underappreciated, but critical.
Let's start with something kind of fun. Foley effects.
Yeah.
It sounds like just adding footsteps, but it's way more involved.
Oh, it's a true art form. Named after Jack Foley, a sound pioneer. Foley artists aren't just recording sounds, they're performing them in sync with the picture.
Performing.
Yeah, in a special studio, a Foley stage filled with props and different surfaces. They're watching the screen and creating the sounds, live footsteps on gravel, the rustle of clothes, a door creaking, someone handling a prop.
Wow.
And it's not just about realism, it's about enhancing the feeling. Are those footsteps heavy and menacing or light and hesitant? The Foley tells you.
So it adds emotional texture.
Exactly. And yeah, they get creative, that classic movie punch sound. Often it's like hitting a cabbage or a side of beef. Yep. Whatever works to get that visceral impact. It's different from general sound effects or SFX, which are usually pre-recorded things like explosions or animal roars. Foley is specifically the human interaction sounds performed to picture.
Gotcha. Okay, so Foley adds those specific performed sounds.
Yeah.
What about the overall sound world, this idea of sound diegetics, where the sound comes from?
Yeah, that's a crucial concept. It's basically about whether the sound exists within the story's world or outside it.
Yeah.
Diegetic sound is anything the characters can logically hear. Dialogue, a car driving by, music playing from a radio in the scene, their own footsteps. It belongs to the world on screen.
Makes it feel real, immersive.
Right. Then there's non-diegetic sound. This is sound the characters can't hear. It's for the audience only. The big one is the musical score.
The soundtrack.
Yeah, the orchestral score. Or maybe a narrator's voiceover or a dramatic sting sound effect just for impact. It's outside the story world, meant to guide your emotions or provide information.
But can it be blurry sometimes?
Oh, absolutely. And that's where filmmakers get clever. They can play with that line. Imagine music starts playing, you assume it's the non-diegetic score, but then the camera reveals a character turning on a radio, and that's where the music is coming from.
So it shifts from non-diegetic to diegetic.
Exactly. And that shift can be really unsettling or funny or revealing. It messes with your perception of reality within the film. Very powerful tool.
Okay, and to capture all this sound, the dialogue, the Foley, the ambient noise, you need the right tools. Microphones. They're the ears, right?
They are. And choosing the right mic for the job is critical for getting clean, usable audio. There are a few main types filmmakers rely on.
Language.
Well, you've got your dynamic mics. They're tough, don't usually need external power, good for loud sounds or handling noise. Think live music vocals like that classic Shure SM58.
Okay, rugged.
Then condenser mics, much more sensitive, capture lots of detail, need power, often called phantom power. Great for studio recording, delicate sounds. And they're often what's inside lavalier and shotgun mics.
Okay. So what about those specific types? Lavaliers, the little ones they clip on.
Yeah, lapel mics. Tiny, discreet, great for dialogue because they stay close to the source, even if the person moves their head. News anchors, interviews, actors often wear them hidden.
Consistent sound?
Exactly. But they can pick up clothing rustle sometimes. Then you have shotgun mics, long, tube-shaped things.
The ones you see on boom poles.
That's them. Highly directional. They're designed to pick up sound clearly from directly in front while rejecting noise from the sides and back. Essential for capturing dialogue on set from a distance without picking up all the crew noise.
So isolating the sound.
Precisely. And of course, now we have lots of great USB mics too, super convenient for things like podcasts, voiceovers, home studios, plug straight into the computer.
Right, different tools for different jobs. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And we mentioned it with non-diegetic sound, but let's talk specifically about the score. That original music, written just for the film, it's more than just background, isn't it?
Oh, vastly more. The score is like the film's emotional heartbeat. Its main job is to manipulate your feelings, guide you emotionally.
Yeah.
Think about the scariest scene you've seen. Chances are the music was doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Bernard Herrmann's shrieking violins in Psycho. Pure terror, created by the score.
Unforgettable.
Or the opposite, John Williams' soaring themes for Star Wars. Joy, adventure, heroism. It's the music telling you how to feel. Scores also use character themes or leitmotif.
Like Darth Vader's theme.
The Imperial March. Perfect example. You hear that music, you know he's there, or his influence is present, even if he's not on screen. It adds layers, foreshadows, controls pacing, creates unity. It's talking directly to your subconscious.
Wow. Okay, so we've gathered all these elements, the light, the color, the sound, the performances. Now comes the task of putting it all together. Post-production.
Yeah.
Where does that start?
Usually with something called the assembly cut.
Assembly cut. Sounds basic.
It kinda is. It's the very first draft of the edited film. The editor takes all the selected takes for every scene and lays them out in story order. No fancy transitions, no polished sound mix, just everything.
And it's long, right?
Oh yeah, usually much longer than the final film. Includes whole takes, sometimes awkward bits. It's often apparently quite painful for directors to watch the first time.
I'll bet.
Because it shows everything, all the raw material, warts and all. But it's crucial. It's the first time you see the entire story laid out. You spot plot holes, pacing problems, maybe realize you need an extra shot somewhere. It's the blueprint.
The raw clay before the sculpting begins.
Exactly. It's the foundation for everything that comes next.
And the sculpting happens using editing software, the digital workbench. There are a few big players here, right?
Yeah, the main nonlinear editors, or NLEs. Choosing one often depends on the project scale, budget, and workflow preferences.
So what are the main contenders?
Well, there's Avid Media Composer. It's been a Hollywood and broadcast standard for ages, really known for rock-solid stability and handling huge projects with lots of editors working together.
Okay, the big gun.
Then Adobe Premiere Pro, super popular, especially because it integrates so well with other Adobe stuff like After Effects for motion graphics and Audition for sound. Very versatile.
More of that Creative Cloud ecosystem.
Right. And then there's DaVinci Resolve. This one's interesting because it started mainly as a high-end color grading tool, but now it's a full NLE, and its color tools are still top-notch. Plus, they offer an incredibly powerful free version.
Free?
Yeah, it's gained a lot of ground. And for Mac users, there's Final Cut Pro, known for its different kind of timeline, the magnetic timeline, which some people love. Very efficient on Apple hardware, popular with independent filmmakers.
So different flavors, different strengths?
Pretty much. And there are simpler options too, like CapCut or iMovie for people just starting out.
Okay, so the story's taking shape in the edit.
Mm-hmm.
Then comes that visual polish.
Mm-hmm.
Color grading. You mentioned Resolve is strong here. This is more than just fixing mistakes, right?
Oh, way more. Color grading is where the final look and feel of the film is really locked in. It's a deeply artistic process.
So what's the goal?
Several things. One is consistency, making sure shots filmed at different times or with the different cameras look like they belong together. But the bigger part is mood and emotion.
Ah, back to that.
Absolutely. The colorist uses tools to adjust exposure, contrast, saturation, but also to push the colors, making things warmer for intimacy or danger, cooler for sadness or isolation, creating that distinct visual identity like the examples we talked about, Matrix Green and Melee Warm.
So they adjust the overall look.
Yeah, those are primary corrections, but then they do secondary corrections targeting specific things.
Yeah.
Like making the sky a richer blue, or ensuring skin tones look natural and pleasing, or making a specific object pop with color.
Fine-tuning.
Exactly. And then often applying a creative look, maybe adding film grain, using preset styles called LUTs to give it that final cinematic quality. It elevates everything. It's the difference between just footage and a film.
It really ties the whole visual experience together.
Completely. It guides your eye and your emotions frame by frame.
And finally, for the things you just can't film in reality, visual effects, or VFX. This is where the magic gets really wild, isn't it?
It can be. VFX covers a huge range, from the totally impossible to the subtly invisible.
So it's not all dragons and spaceships.
Not at all. Sure, you have CGI, computer-generated imagery, creating entire creatures like those dragon or whole alien worlds like in Avatar. That's the spectacular stuff.
All right.
But just as common, probably more so, are the invisible effects. Things like removing wires, holding up an actor, painting out a modern building in a period film, or digitally extending a set extensions to make it look bigger.
Stuff you'd never even notice was done.
That's the goal. Then there's compositing, which is combining different elements, live action footage, CGI, matte paintings into one seamless shot, like putting an actor filmed against a green screen into a digital background.
Stitching it all together.
Yeah. It's often a blend of practical effects, things actually built and filmed on set, like an explosion or a model, combined with digital VFX for the best result. The whole VFX pipeline is complex, involving modeling, animation, lighting, rendering, all to create something believable, whether it's fantastical or just enhancing reality.
It really lets filmmakers put almost anything they can imagine onto the screen, pushing boundaries.
It really does. It expands the storytelling possibilities immensely, transporting you, the viewer, anywhere.
So wrapping this all up,
Mm.
what does this deep dive tell us? It feels like every single choice, a lighting angle, a sound effect, a color tweak, an invisible effect, it's all deliberate.
Absolutely. Nothing is accidental in a well-crafted film. It's this incredible fusion of technical skill and artistic vision. Every element is chosen to serve the story and shape your experience.
Understanding this stuff, even a little, really changes how you watch a movie, doesn't it?
I think so. It helps you appreciate the immense craft involved, the layers of thought behind creating those worlds that feel so real or so magical. It's about seeing how all these details work together to connect with you emotionally, often in ways you don't even consciously register.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. The next time you're watching a film, try to tune into these things a bit more. Ask yourself, how is the lighting making me feel about this character right now? What's that subtle sound in the background doing? Why does the scene feel warm or cold based on the color?
Yeah, how are these choices subconsciously nudging your feelings? What new layers pop out when you look and listen just a little bit closer?
There's always more to discover.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the magic behind the movies.